Welcome to the Mind Body Abundance Show, and today we're talking about the Dare to Be Aware Fair, which is happening here in Milwaukee on May 11th. That's just a few days away, the day before Mother's Day. It's a fair of over 100 exhibitors and 13 different presentations, all in the world of wellness. Our theme this year is binge on wellness. It's a good thing to binge on. So we invite you to come to the fair, and as a part of a way of letting you know more about what's happening, I have two of the presenters, exhibitors here today to talk with you, and we're going to be talking about specifically the world of acupuncture from two different perspectives. And so let's start first with you, Patiricia.
Hi.
Hi. Patiricia Thiel, you're from Connected Healing.
Yes.
So what do you connect when you're connecting healing? What are all the things that you do?
So we specialize in women's health and pediatrics. Within the women's health umbrella, that could include fertility, support with a fertility journey. It could be a teenager who is having painful periods. It could be someone who isn't getting a regular period or has a PCOS diagnosis, and kind of anything in between.
So lots of different services, and you include things beyond acupuncture, I think, a little bit, right?
Yes, so within the scope of Chinese medicine, acupuncture is one facet, but we're also talking about nutrition from a Chinese medicine perspective. We're talking about lifestyle factors like stress modulation and making sure that we're sleeping and our exposure to toxins and so on and so forth. So it is an all-encompassing look at what the body needs and how to give it that.
So lots of things that what we call traditional Western medicine might not necessarily be focusing in on. You look at the whole person.
Correct.
To help them find the way to whatever it is that they have as a goal.
Yes.
So this weekend, as I said, it's Mother's Day weekend, and we have some special things at the fair for Mother's Day. And one of them is you and your services, because you work with women and their families.
Yes.
So tell us just a little bit more about that.
Sure. So in our clinic, we work with, as I said, women throughout any challenges that might come up, whether that be related to periods or fertility or the postpartum season. And we also have a specialty in working with children as well. So what's really cool is we've had a lot of patients who've come to our clinic first with fertility intentions and hoping to become pregnant. And then they get pregnant, and then we care for the moms through the postpartum season, and we also care for the children. And that is like the coolest full circle moment. It's my favorite. Because
you get to see the children start growing up.
Yes.
and the results, a lot of the results of what you do.
Exactly.
So I heard that you have some success stories that are your favorites.
Yes, yes.
I see that look, says it all right there. So tell me your favorite.
So I have a patient who I've been seeing for years, and she initially came to my clinic about 4 years ago when she was at a place where Western medicine really wasn't able to help her. She had had 8 miscarriages that she knew of, possibly more, that had just been early. And she was not getting any answers. Doctors told her everything looked fine and she could keep trying, or basically either do that or give up on her dream of having a family. So she chose a third option, and she came to see if acupuncture could help her. And we were able to identify the root cause reason why the miscarriages continued to happen over and over. And then we were able to address that. And within a course of treatment that went on for about 6 months, we were able to fix that issue. And she became pregnant, carried the baby to term, healthy baby. Baby is now 2, and she's pregnant again. Yeah.
That is a great success story. I think sometimes we don't hear enough wonderful stories like that in our world. So
I agree.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You're also doing a presentation at the fair. Please tell us a little bit about what that'll be about.
Sure. So the topic for the presentation is acupuncture as a tool for nervous system regulation and whole body healing as a result. So the reason why that's so important is without a regulated nervous system, pretty much nothing can happen in your body on an optimal function level. So in order for your body to carry out healing functions, it has to be able to know that it's safe enough to do that. And so that's what I'll be talking about, is like how, in the context of pain, in the context of fertility, in the context of, you know, the whole spectrum of health issues, how does addressing nervous system regulation via acupuncture fit into the picture?
That sounds fascinating.
Yes.
Now, I actually have been experiencing acupuncture off and on over about 30 years. And one of the things that I've observed is when I tell people about acupuncture, or I mention it, a lot of people go, "Ooh, needles," you know. And in fact, I'll admit that was actually my first response when I was working with someone who said, "You have adrenal burnout, we need to do this stuff, acupuncture is going to help, you got to do it." And I went and did it, and I found out it doesn't hurt at all. And so I was thinking maybe, I mean, I know sometimes there's a tiny little pinch that I might feel, you know, but it's so quick.
Yes.
And it's gone right away. I was wondering if you would be willing for our viewers so that they can see what an acupuncture needle looks like, how thin it is, and there's also a special point that I know you can put it in, so
Yes.
and you can explain the reason for that point as well. Is that good?
Absolutely, yes. So the point that we'll use is on the hand, and it's called large intestine 4. And it's a point that we use in the fertility or women's health context to mitigate the effects of stress on the body. And it can also be used for pain, migraines, things like that.
Okay, so this is a traditional acupuncture
Yes,
needle you're
yes.
getting out of its special case?
Yes, so the needles are sterile, they're single use, they go into a sharps container when we're done with them.
And
I can
we've got
show
one here, just
yes.
so you know we're practicing.
Yes, I can maybe show one and then
Sure.
put one in, just to give an idea of, you know how small they are, but just to give an idea.
I bet they can hardly see it.
Right. Yeah, so that's what one looks like.
Is the light bouncing off of it now?
Yep.
Ah.
Okay. And I'll just stay over here for this part. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what an acupuncture needle looks like. This is how teeny tiny and hair thin that they are.
Yes.
Which is the first good thing to see, because when we think of needles, we think like a vaccine needle or you know, something a little bit larger, right? So this is not that.
Okay.
And then we'll just have you rest your hand down.
Let me move these for
Sure.
a moment here. And then the needles are left in for a while. When I do acupuncture sessions these days, it's usually a half hour.
Yep.
So that they can stimulate the energy flow, right?
Exactly.
I got that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to keep that in there for a little while. Is that okay with you?
You can, if you'd like to, get a little mini treatment.
Sure.
Have at it.
All right. So if people come, when people come to the fair and they stop by your booth, will they be able to experience this if they want to? Can you do that at the fair or no?
We will not be doing demos at our booth, but I will be doing a demonstration during the presentation.
So they'll have a chance to see it up close if they want to.
You'll be able to see it up close, yes.
All right. That sounds great. All right, well, let's see if I've missed anything in what I wanted to make sure to tell people right now. So they can actually stimulate that point themselves, right?
Yes.
So tell them about that,
Yes.
because that's the takeaway for them today.
Exactly. So not only can acupuncture points be stimulated with needles, you can also use acupressure. So same point, which you'll find it's kind of in the meaty part of the space between the thumb and the first finger here, half the distance of the bone of the first finger here. But really the easiest way to find it is if you just grab into the meaty part of your hand, you'll be there. And with that, then you can apply pressure, you can rub some circles, you can rub whatever direction feels good. Sometimes you'll naturally tend toward clockwise or counterclockwise or just simple pressure. I recommend, or the way I explain it is, as far as pressure goes, you'd want to use about the amount of pressure you would use to ring a doorbell. So you're not squeezing yourself like crazy, but you've got to put some force behind it. So as if you're ringing a doorbell. And 30 seconds or so of pressure or rubbing will suffice.
And that's good for headaches.
It's good for
right?
headaches
And stress.
and stress, yes, and really pain overall in the body. So pain anywhere, this is a great point. Stress, great point. Headaches, great point.
Because there's energy flows throughout the whole body.
Right.
I'm testing my own acupuncture knowledge with you right now. There's meridians, energy flow lines through the body, and that's one of the major ones.
Yes.
And that's why it can help with the whole system, even though it's just one little spot on your
Right.
hand.
It's a point that's known for its ability to move chi. So throughout the entirety of the body, when we have pain, it's because chi isn't moving as well.
Got it. Well, Caitra, please tell people how they can reach you if they happen to watch this after the fair. I know they can come to our website, daretobeawarefair.com, and click in on the exhibitor or the presenter area, and your web link is there. But if they don't want to go that far, perhaps you could give them your URL. And
Sure. Yes. Below is our website and address, and I'd love for you to visit us there.
Dane Hollis, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
You are bringing something very special to our community, and it's part of the world of acupuncture, and it's a whole lot more. A place called Veteran Sanctuary.
Yep.
Why did you create Veteran Sanctuary?
I created Veteran Sanctuary because I'm a veteran. I love the VA, but the VA sometimes feels a little bit clinical, a little bit sterile, and I wanted something that was more relaxing, more felt like home, more spa-like, because we don't really get that much, especially as veterans, combat veterans, and I wanted to offer that to them. And so we created a clinic, me and my wife, that caters to them. And we're also in the community care network with the VA.
Oh, excellent.
So all treatments are covered if you get VA health care. And so, yeah, just wanted a community for them where they felt safe.
That's wonderful, Dane. And it's right across the street from the VA, so they could
right across, yep.
just walk across the street, literally. Now, you do more than just the acupuncture. You said all the different services. So name a couple of those, please.
So we do acupuncture and massage. I'm an acupuncturist, but I'm also a rolfer, craniosacral, Thai massage, sensory patterning. I do a lot of different things. So when you come to me for acupuncture, I mix all that in together. So.
Now there's one particular thing that you do which really intrigued me when I saw, because it was the first time that I saw it when I looked at your website, and that's something called gua sha.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about gua sha and how it works.
So gua sha translates to scraping of the skin, and use a tool like this one. This one's made out of water buffalo horn, and there's many different materials, but what you do is you take a little bit of oil and you put it on the skin, and then you take your tool and you scrape. And so what you're doing here is you're trying to pick up any material and put it out.
I just didn't want you to leak all over your clothing.
You're trying to get anything that's stuck in there brought to the surface. And so you do it for a little bit. All right, and what you're trying to do,
It's getting red.
it is getting red, but there's a different kind of red showing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you see how
Yeah.
you have this red, which is normal from just the rubbing, but then this is called picache. And so what I'm trying to do is pull anything that's stuck from an obstruction of the chi. When we say chi, we're talking about fluids moving through the body in meridians. Sometimes there's blockages. And so if there's a blockage with this, what we're doing is just pushing it through and bringing it to the surface. And in Chinese medicine, between the skin and the muscle layer, that's where the wei qi flows, or lymphatic system or immune system in Western interpretation. And so we're bringing anything that's stuck there to the surface so it can get moved out. And so if you can see that part right there, that's where I'm sore. And you can tell I did this whole area, the same pressure, the same amount of time, but only there is where it shows. And that's how this works. This is what got me super interested in this. And so it's a cool way of, if you have any type of injury, you can do that on somebody and figure out where the pain is coming from. So I traveled all the Asia searching around for different people that were teaching this, and I love it.
You found them.
I love it. So there's a couple different ways that you have these obstructions happen.
Go ahead.
One thing could be a wind-cold invasion, where wind hits the back of your neck. You go from somewhere warm to somewhere cold, and the cold air hits the back of your neck. It'll make that space between the muscle and the skin contract. And any fluid that was moving in your immune system is now stuck in that space. And so you can take this and you scrape the back of the neck and the shoulders, and that'll help it pass through. Or you can have things happen where like you get hit, like a big injury, and that makes fluid get stuck or blood get stuck inside, like a bruise, but you don't push it all the way through, and now it's stuck. And so you do this to push it through.
You told me about a vet who, for HIPAA purposes, remains totally anonymous. You didn't give any names or anything, but you described someone who had some injuries to their rib cage and carried pain for a really long time. And then this process helped with that.
Yes. So I have a patient that I've been seeing for about 6 treatments now, and he fell and broke. He fell one time on one side, one time on the other, and he broke 3 ribs on one side and 4 ribs on the other side. And so for about 13 years, he's had pain, like sharp stabbing pain. In Chinese medicine, that's blood stasis pain. Sharp stabbing pain is either nerve pain or blood stasis, where like you have that bruise that gets stuck and we don't push it through. So it's been about 6 treatments of me doing gua sha, alternating with cupping. I've cupped them twice. They kind of do the same thing, but doing that on his ribs and working the intercostals, which is the muscles between the ribs, to help push that fluid through. And so if I just get it pushed up to the surface, it frees his ribs to then start moving and start breathing. And with any type of movement, you get waste moved out, nutrients brought in, and it reduces pain.
Awesome. There's a lot of vets who need that. After working with vets for 35 years, I've met a lot of them who are carrying so much that I don't think they really need to be carrying. You know, sometimes there are things that just aren't really fixable, I guess, but lots of folks need to come see you.
Oh, yes.
So there's a special veterans section at the fair where there will be different organizations who are providing different alternative healing modalities for vets. So they can come and see you there.
They can.
And they can also come to Veterans Sanctuary. So you say just a little bit, again, I know we generally said where it was, but how can they reach you?
They can find us online at our website, veteran-sanctuary.com, or come see us at 4611 West National Avenue in Milwaukee. We're directly across from the VA hospital. And if they come see us at the fair, we'll give them a demo of gua sha.
Ooh.
Now, to be clear, it doesn't feel the best. It's not as painless as getting needles. Gua sha, you feel, especially my style. You go through a little bit of pain, but you'll feel a lot better for a long time.
Sometimes you have to go through a little mini healing crisis to get through to the other end.
Very much.
Okay. Well, I am so excited about the two of you being at the fair. And one of the things, one of the reasons that I do the fair is because I see what it does for the community. That people don't know where to go, what to look for, what's possible. And with over 100 exhibitors at the fair, there's a chance for them to see all kinds of resources on physical healing, emotional healing, spiritual healing. So we really invite you to come and join us at the fair. Take time to see these two while you're there and learn more about this amazing world of acupuncture that has so much to offer to people. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you,
thank you very much. And we'll see you all at the fair.